Hello there. Good evening, Earthling. This is Patricius Jiwandono. Today's topic is about entrepreneurship. I'm going to talk about how to hire and interview people. So today's topic is about recruiting people and interviewing them. I'm going to talk about some techniques and some questions which I'm going to give to the employee, to the applicants, so that I can know their quality and I can determine whether they fit my company or whether they do not belong to my requirement. Okay, let's get to my PowerPoint slides. So here is the topic today, hiring people and interviewing them. So when I want to hire people for my company or for my office or for my institution, first of all, I need to do these 3 steps. First of all, I would like to determine what kind of staff I need. Is it going to be marketing staff, people who promote my business to the outside parties and to the public out there? Or do I need an accountant? Or do I need a salesperson? So first of all, it's very important to determine what job or what position is needed. Yeah. Second one is you have to determine the requirements. This may include educational background, the trainings that they have had, their major skills, their professional career or their previous jobs, and also their interests. Now, this last one is important because you will know by knowing their interests whether they like doing something or not, to what kind of activity they are inclined to, what kind of activities that they will find interesting, and what kind of activities turn them off. So interest here is probably a simple one, but it tells you something important about the applicant. Yeah. So then it comes the next one is determining the amount of salary that I can offer. This is important because nobody wants to work for free. Of course, I have to pay them, but of course, the financial capacity of my company will have to be matched with their expectation. Yeah. So I do number 3 in order to decide whether their expectation or my ability to pay them matches their expectation. Yeah. So before I even put up some vacancy advertisements out there, I'll have to determine at least these 3 steps. Yeah. Determine the kind of staff that I need, determine the position, and then determine the requirements. You will look into their educational background, whether they have enough trainings for the position that you are offering, whether they have major skills, yeah, that you need or is needed for the position, and their professional career, their previous jobs, whether they match the requirement, your present requirement in your company, and also their interests. Yeah. And then third is to determine whether the salary that you can offer them matches their expectation. Okay. Now comes the interviewing. So after the paperwork is done, we decide that he or she fits to be interviewed. Then comes the interviewing session. Yeah. I've been working at a university for 12 years now, so I've gained enough experience in interviewing would-be applicant, would-be lecturer, or would-be administrative staff. Yeah. And these are my favorite lines of questions. I usually ask these questions to the applicants so that I will be able to dig deeper into their capacity, into their professionalism, into their personality as well. Yeah. So the first thing that I usually ask is, how do you know my company? Now this is asked to see if he or she has been paying attention to my company. If an applicant is interested in working for me or working for my company, he or she would spend some time gathering information about my company. Otherwise, he or she is probably not quite interested in working for my company, and they come for an interview just to meet the requirements, or maybe my company is just one among several others that they are considering. Yeah, so they don't pay quite a serious attention to my company. Yeah, these kinds of applicants are usually not very suitable. Yeah. So that's the first question. How do you know my company? Yeah. Second one is, how will you contribute to my company? Or a more straightforward question would be, why should we hire you? What makes you think that we should hire you? What makes you think that we should employ you as a staff member here? Yeah. This is to know how much she or he fits the job. Yeah. And then the third one, in your work later, you will have to do this and that and this and that. So I describe the requirements that they will have to do, the demand, the job demand that they'll have to do, yeah, to manage. Yeah. How prepared are you to undertake all of this demand? Yeah. So I asked this question to know if the applicant is quite prepared for the challenges that they might have to face in my company. Yeah. So this is important. The answer will tell me whether this person is really prepared or whether he or she is not quite prepared. Maybe he or she is a bit surprised to see that the demand and the challenges are quite heavy, yeah, are quite difficult. Yeah, so this number 3 is very important question. Yeah. And then the next one is, describe a challenging task that you have ever tackled in your previous job and how you handle that. Yeah. I asked this question to know the applicant's strength. Of course, this is important. You want to hire somebody with special strength to undertake all the daunting and challenging tasks in your company. Yeah, meeting clients, tackling difficult customers, solving difficult problems, working under pressure, yeah, those kinds of things. You want somebody who has enough strength and you have enough strength and enough bright ideas to solve the problem. Yeah. So that's number 4. So basically, I will ask every applicant these 4 questions, and the answers will tell me relatively well how well they are prepared for the job that I'm offering. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Sometimes in an interview, applicant would make some claims about themselves. Usually they say that they are better than they actually are. Yeah. But that's human nature. You would say that you are good, you think that you are good, but actually, in fact, you are less than that good. Yeah, you are probably not as good as you think you are. Yeah, that's the problem with human. Yeah, but again, it's natural. But so when they come up with this kind of questions, with this kind of claims, I usually take them with a grain of salt. Yeah, I do not just take them for granted. I do not trust them just right away. Whatever they claim they can do, yeah, or they can be. So these are some of the statements that I need to check again. Yeah, I need to see the proofs whether these really are true. Yeah, for example, I can cooperate well with other people. Well, applicants would usually say that, but of course you need to see whether he or she is really good with teamwork. whether he or she won't be overbearing or won't be too passive, yeah, or won't be too difficult for other people, yeah. And then the next one is, I don't mind working extra hours. Well, that's what you say, but in reality, we'll see whether you really don't mind working extra hours, or whether you will be working extra hours but with lots of demand. Pay me more, give me more incentive, things like that. You begin grumbling about the necessity to work extra hours, and that's, of course, that's not something that we would like to see from staff members. Yeah. The next one is, I can cope very well with pressure. Well, that's what you say, but again, reality will tell us whether you can really cope with pressure, whether you won't crack under pressure, or whether you succumb to pressure. Yeah? Of course, the latter one is not good, is undesirable. We want people who can be tough, who can be hard, who can be persevering, who can be persistent in the face of hardship, in the face of difficulties, who can remain calm under pressure, yeah, who can still control their emotion, yeah, as well as their relationship with other staff members. We want to hire those kinds of those people with that quality, of course. I think I can do that task. Yeah, again, that's their claim. You need to see whether they can really do that task well. Yeah. So all of those have to be proven. That's why we usually give them a probation period. A probation period, masa percobaan, a probation period for at least a year, so that you will be able to know whether they can stay true to these claims, whether they can really cooperate well, whether they can do well under pressure, whether they can work extra hours without grumbling, without losing their temper, things like that. So yeah, that's some of the things that I've been doing as a head. I interview people, and these are the things that you can adopt in your interviewing. Okay. The next one is usually we put an applicant into the real challenge. We would say to an applicant, here is a task, for example, a teaching task. Yeah. Spend a few hours to prepare, or a few days, yeah, depending on the difficulty or the complexity or the demand of the task. Yeah. And then present your solution to us. In our case, because I'm a lecturer, I usually have them demonstrate their teaching skill in front of the interviewers. Yeah. But of course, the task can be determined by the demand of the job that you are offering. Yeah. And so the idea is to have them do the real task, have them tackle the real task. Although it's still a simulated task, but this will give you a general idea, a better idea of how they handle the task, how they prepare for the task, and how they carry out the task until its completion. Yeah. So this will give you an idea of their real ability to do the task. That's why this is also an important part in your interview. Yeah. This is one of the necessary steps, one of the very useful steps that you can use in order to select the right applicants. That's all. I hope this is useful for you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and see you again in my next episode. Goodbye.